Hope everyone's having a good day, good night, good evening. Thank you, Crazy Koala Man, for the 5. Time for more cringe SCP stories. It is! Before SCP, though, I wanted to show you guys that I may have gotten addicted to Palworld.
Yes.
So, I guess in Discord, Kendra doesn't need to pull it up, but I will still screen share it anyways, so Kendra isn't completely lost.
It happens, it happens.
The chat, this is my big whaley boy, doing big whaley boy things. And as you can see, I have decided to build out in the ocean, which is a thing we can do now. We're still working on the second floor. It's going to be all decorative, as much as I can make it.
Exactly.
This is the first floor, though. With all the buildables and all my little guys doing their little things.
Ooh.
I have recruited golems to mine for me, and they just sit here all day mining. This is their one purpose in life. Oh no, you're so weird. You don't have to do anything. The mech doing all the work for you.
You just love that, Chad? How I almost forgot to
Oh yeah, this is how they sleep, or how they take a little hot spring break. He's a happy little boy.
Adorable.
What is Subnautica doing in your Pal world? And then over here, this is where I am currently working on breeding up new pals. It is going well. I have got a efficient system going on with lots of eggs. I need to make more. I want to fill out this room, 3 per little section here.
Yeah.
But it is going well, chat. I may have gotten addicted. I have, in fact, got to level 80. All that's left is for me to get a bunch of technology points to fill the rest of this out. But I'm at in-game. I know a couple people thought it was wild. They're like, I'm only like level 30. I'm like, well, you know, I had business.
Well, you see, Mizu's addicted, and unfortunately the job calls him. He had to lock in.
It is not eugenics, chat. Look, just because I'm breeding like the perfect pals across the board does not mean we're doing any sort of eugenics.
That sounds pretty uni to me.
Why uni?
Because uni rhymes with... You can't have eugenics without uni. That's why they call it university. I'll be here all night.
But yes, chat, I did go a little bit no life. But it's fine. But I just wanted to show you guys that I did in fact get a bit addicted. Let's see, did I put it on this one? I think I put it on this one, yeah. And then I will swap over for Kendra. Surprisingly, after all of the SCPs we went through, I have not actually been through all of the ones that were suggested by people. We still have a good, like, 15, 16 more suggestions that people made.
This is, I think mistakes are about to be made.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why this one was... So just to be clear, all of these were suggested. I have not actually gone through and read them on my own, because I think that's fair, right?
Yeah.
Me and Kendra will get, like, the first experience with these, and we'll give our honest opinions on whether or not SCP cooked, or whether they are cooked.
What is it? Macabre says, where's the bonk? I think the bonk and the throw is like delayed on kick. Which is weird.
You have a bonk? What?
Oh, I have the Twitch. The Twitch integrated throwing system, also known as
titties.
Exactly.
Cat Kendra has titties.
I'm proud of it.
But I'm still going in order. This one looks like it's a part of a bigger thing. The bigger thing it's a part of is just called the trash fire. In order, how to clean a polyester dress, a novella about turfs, foul living spaces, and doll things. Christ in Scarlet, missing children, secret tunnels, and a nest of red tape. Something wicked is happening in Mississippi. Black and white and red all over. Neo-Nazis are invading Outer Lichtenberg. And When Will You Die for the Last Time in My Dreams, which is the one that was suggested. The rise and fall of the House of Spades and the moments in between. So the summary is the trash fire primarily follows the fallout caused by the quote-unquote old gods. And very specifically, the four worshipped by the Davite Empire. The Verdant Mage, the Scarlet King, the Violet Queen, and that which makes holes in the shape of worms.
Mm-hmm.
The Davites, and by extension the Old Gods, were opposed to the Emmet, a culture of clay humanoids ingrained with the knowledge of thaumaturgy by their former slave masters. Homo sapiens descensus. It started as Davite expansion into Emmet territory, turned into existential battle that nearly exterminated the Emmet, yet irreparably maimed the influence of the Old Gods on Earth. Over time, the factions of Earth picked up the war in the original belligerents' stead. Nevertheless, all this found its way into the modern world. Communities formed around the ossified bones of dead horrors, descendants of their brutality integrated into their neighbors. All in all, life seemed to go on as absurdly and chaotically as it always felt.
Mm-hmm.
So this is weird.
I wouldn't even say that's bad. It just felt, I mean, I guess.
So, how long is this polyester dress one? Hey, Terry, happy 5 years of sisterhood. I forgot, like, what do you drink wine? I got you some Moscato to celebrate. But then I remembered you're always the designated driver. Thanks, Jen. And I was wondering if you like drink. If not, more for me. Oh yeah, thanks for covering me on the, what was that mural? I think it was, like, the one near that, I think the brothel. Yeah, it was totally fab. Banksy should hire you already. But, like, don't actually. You're the backbone of the biz, Jen. So, could you check in with Ella? Sorry, Elle, that's what she goes by now. But, like, Jen's gotta, like, weird. Anyways, happy 4th year anniversary, Terry. Click. It says, a novella about turfs, foul living spaces, and doll things. How long are these?
I'll say this for my chat. For those who are coming in, Mizu has been guiding me into the world of SCP. And the world of SCP, I mean the world of how not to write an SCP.
Do I actually, like, want to read these? Graphic depictions of abuse ahead, proceed with caution. These are really long.
I think, okay, personally for me, if we have to go through pages, it's one thing to read an SCP and it's long, but if we have to go down the rabbit hole like we did last time, at that point, you save that time for just a long SCP.
Yeah.
At least to me.
We will loop back to that one. So we'll stick with the actual suggested one, which was When Will You Die for the Last Time in My Dreams. House of Spades co-founder Veronica Fitzroy, dead at 32, active rescue turns violent. Veronica Catherine Fitzroy, drummer and co-founder of the rock band House of Spades, died Wednesday. She was 32. Reports indicate that following a call from Miss Fitzroy to the National End Your Life Prevention Lifeline, a pair of officers were dispatched as part of an active rescue effort. For reasons currently unknown, Miss Fitzroy shot an attending officer and was subsequently shot and killed by his partner.
Oh my god! What happened?
The band's vocalist Sarah Mipps-Yarkoni died in 2018 by apparent hanging. They are survived by... And then we get this. There's tapes? I wonder if this is like a... Wait, what is this? The E indicates a not safe for work tale, likely the result of having Jack as a POV character, abuse, gore, self-image issues. self-termination, homo/transphobia, and slurs. I wouldn't write it that way because then it just looks like trigger warning homos. That's how you make it look when you write it like that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Internet Zen. Maybe it's because I rediscovered the Control game, but I have a whole new contempt for the current state of SCP, given Control draws inspiration from the site in its prime, or SCP claims it does. Have you ever seen Control, Kendra?
I don't think so. I
I
know
have to show
we
it to
played
you
that
later.
one
It's not a
collab
bad
game.
one.
Okay. Okay.
So are these like actual tapes? Possibly. How to not handle the worst day of your life and how to bounce back playlist. SCP-9... What the fuck is that? Why does that only appear after a minute? And why does it just take me back? SCP-952... See, it just takes me right back. Is this actual music?
I don't really
is.
know the state of SCP right now. Well, you see, Mirai, last time we covered SCP, we covered the supercomputer that disperses memes to turn you right wing so that you can end yourself.
So the first song is SCP-952, which is this. Heater containment, so it's hard to contain. Musical projects under the effect of SCP-952 are to be terminated by any means possible. And any physical media storing recordings of 952 influenced music are to be copied onto the standardized Type-C anti-mimetic storage device, then destroyed. Venues that have hosted 952 infected musicians are to be closed until such point where it can be confirmed that none of the staff are affected. Development of counter-mimetic agent to combat SCP-952 is underway until its completion. All individuals affected are to be detained. As a precaution, Foundation agents in the music industry should seek to discredit quote-unquote math rock as a genre.
What? Are you serious?
Until such time as when SCP-952 is contained. Relevant personnel should refer to document 95232 for more details. Description: 952 is an anomalous subgenre of math rock known as NP rock, defined primarily by specific arrangement of instrumental configurations, subject matter, and esoteric musical technique. Evidence suggests that the culmination of these components is the cause of 952's anomalous properties. Upon listening to 952 composition, subjects will instantly identify 952 as a distinctive musical genre. Furthermore, periodic listening, defined by listening to at least one composition per day, creates further anomalous effects. Following 1 week of periodic listening, subjects with musical experience learn how to recreate 952. After 4 weeks of periodic listening, subjects with musical experience will find themselves unable to perform any musical piece outside of 952. From week 4 onward, subjects undergo significant changes in personality. Such changes differ between subjects. However, in all cases, it's observed that existing romantic relationships become completely untenable. So it's music that makes you break up, I guess. Reminds me of that that Reddit sex song that people were memeing on.
You mean I forgot the name. I know what you're talking about though, because I played it with Royan recently. It was like, it can't be that bad.
It's that bad.
It was amazing. Seabat, yes, the Seabat song. Oh, it's a beautiful song. You guys should listen to it.
From week 12 onward, listening to any non-952 composition produces marked distress in subjects. The earliest known instance of 952 appears to have been Highway Ash, an album released by a band known as House of Spades. It's estimated that at least blank 952 compositions remain uncontained. So there's an interview log
All right.
They have this, like... The interviewed is Veronica Fitzroy. The interviewer is Agent Hay. And then the foreword is Miss Fitzroy, who played drums for House of Spades, maintained a public presence following its breakup. The only member to do so. The Foundation contacted her for an interview under the guise that she would be speaking to a Pitchfork columnist. Archmagos says invoking video game Donkey Shenmue 3 at 7 o'clock. I have no idea what that means, but you do you.
Alright, who's the agent and who's the interviewer?
I could do the agent.
Alright.
So, good morning, Miss Fitzroy.
Please, Margaret, call me Veronica. Miss Fitzroy was the long-dead historical occult figure whose last name I stole.
I like how it just is 7 seconds of silence.
We are just... Wait. Did it cut me off?
No.
Okay.
No, I just like how the next thing just says 7 seconds of silence. Like, yeah, no, that's about right.
We're starting off very, very good. Too wordy? Izzy was the lyricist, but nah, Veronica's good.
Very well. Veronica, who the fuck says like that? Veronica, apologies. Well, to start off, I actually wanted to talk about your work in House of Spades. I've listened, and I have to say I'm impressed. It's not like anything out there, at least from the out there I've heard.
Huh? Thank you. Yeah, that was probably some of my best work there. Got a favorite? Self-titled? Highway Ash? David Cameron F to Dead Pig? What?
What is this?
I mean, I've heard worse music titles. There's that one where it's in a foreign language that I can't remember. Something about effing grandmas and babies.
Yeah, it's probably better that you can't remember that one.
Yeah.
As much as I'd love to discuss how you came up with that, I have to say that I'm most interested in discussing the engineering work you performed on Highway Ash.
Hey nerd, yeah, no, that was a ton of fun, but I can't really be taking all the credit for that. Jack was pretty much the eyes to my hands, and vice versa. Izzy helped too, and Sarah had her moments of useful idiocy, but it was mostly just the two of us. Easier that way.
Even so, it's magical. I know Spades has been pigeonholed into math rock, but it truly feels like something else.
Oh yeah, that was deliberate. Not even mad everyone ended up copying us. Starting a new genre of music, always fun. Especially when I get to name it something stupid like NP rock.
Certainly is an interesting choice of name. You don't mind if I ask why, do you?
Okay, so you know how P doesn't equal NP?
No, I don't. I have no idea what the fuck that means.
I really wish they would like explain it.
Yeah, and they just answer correct. Like, no, I don't.
What is it? NP rock wasn't some spur of the moment bullcrap. It took careful planning and consideration, especially on the part of me and Jack. You ever try making a sound that doesn't exist?
I'm sure everyone has at some point.
Hard as F, yeah. Brain? Is it weird to say? Is it wired to say nonsense like cognito hazard redacted? What?
That's an SCP thing. It's basically saying that whatever they said, if you heard it, it would actively damage you just by hearing it.
Okay. Or whatever. It means what NP rock isn't easy to define, but it's easy to verify once you hear it. Moreover, it's easy to copy. I mean, that's the whole intention. Anyway, I wanted to shake up a genre that's been stagnating since TTNG.
Ah, well, you've certainly revolutionized. You good?
What is it? No, you're good, you're good. Well, you've certainly revolutionized.
That was me.
Oh, it was more sabotage, I'd say.
Beg your pardon.
I don't know what Jack was thinking when he first floated the idea. Probably something stupid. Weed plans tend to be stupid, but again, I really only had one plan in mind. I want to turn the genre into a depressing sinkhole. With it, I want to take any joy Sarah ever had and crush it under my boots.
That just sounds rude. It says Agent Hay attempts to say something, but is interrupted by Fitzroy.
Sarah only ever had two things: music and a flighty, hedonistic crap bag of a girlfriend. Between cutting her fingers off and ruining math rock, well, one would land me in jail and the other put me up there with Mike Kinsella and Zach Hill. Sort of wish Izzy would have offed herself first, but I guess watching her become Gash is as good as consolation prize as any.
So Brian Gash is... It just says the significance of this statement is unknown at this time. You can't just put in random ass words and then be like, yeah, we don't know what it means either. What? You put it in there. Really quick, Internet Zen Master says, do the people who write these actually interact with real people who speaks like that? I actually would not doubt that some people speak like this.
My thing is actually, I actually think it's kind of decently written so far. It's like, all right, I would say I would probably tweak it, but I wouldn't know where to tweak it. But I think this is enjoyable so far.
Fair. And then Archmago says, Mizu, pull up Donkey's Shenmue 3 video, then skip to 7 minutes in. It would have been cooler if the music invoked a House of Leaves effect on the listener. I will think about that after stream.
Yeah.
So Agent Tay says, forgive me, that's an awful thing to say about someone. Moreover, I'm not certain what this has to do with Sarah's relationships.
What is it? Sis, you can't be giving scores to a genre you don't get. The whole effing genre's statement is the statement to the inability of hipster nerds to hold down a date. Just listen to Wine Selinsky or Polvo or TTNG or Cognition Hazard Redacted, or even just having Kinsella singing in whatever shower that stupid house probably never had. Surround yourself in misery and that's what you get. Even better when the misery is syncopated to the beat of the soul.
I apologize, but the beat of a soul feels somewhat loaded. Care to unpack what you mean?
What is it? Oh, sorry, I almost lost my pace. Sure, first question from me, though. Do you people always play dumb?
Excuse me?
It's a serious question. Every soul operates on a similar frequency. The key is reaching out on what that frequency is. And right now, you're blaring out at narc cycle per second.
I really don't believe people talk like this. No, I changed my mind. Nobody talks like this.
It's starting. We started really pretty great. Please don't go down from here.
Listen, I'm not sure what you
somehow know jack crap about NP music despite listening to it. Agreed with my statement about P and NP despite no public proof. And most importantly, Pitchfork hasn't given a crap about me since they gave my solo album to 2.6. You're either some government occult coalition G-man, to which case, holy F, you're bad at this, or one of Bringing Gash girls, which is freaking rich considering that killing me won't bring back Sarah, and I know because Ashy's still dead.
So this is no public. Agent Hay later clarified that she had no knowledge of the P versus NP problem and was agreeing out of habit.
Okay.
Ma'am, are you okay?
Is that what this is about? Are you just checking up on me? Well, tell Izzy she won. She freaking won. After all these years. I'm a miserable blank hag who threw away her shot at a happy life for the sake of petty revenge. But guess what? Sarah's still dead, and Izzy will never tune a base outside Redacted again. So how's that?
A loud crashing sound can be heard, which Agent Hay reports came from Fitzroy flinging a vase at the wall behind her. Several seconds of silence follow before Fitzroy settles back into her chair.
My manifesto in my bedroom and my will on the kitchen counter. It's been a pleasure, man. Blank, blank, blankety, blank, blank, blank.
Closing statement. Immediately following the conclusion of the interview, Fitzroy pulled a revolver out from under her cushion and shot herself through the temple.
Uh-huh, what?
This explained absolutely nothing about this music.
If anything, the biggest issue with this is that it went from 1 to 100, like,
yeah,
really suddenly.
So this is apparently her will, her final will and testament. I, Veronica Catherine Fitzroy, being of sound body and sound enough mind to execute my own damn will, is witnessed by Brad Cameron and the man in bandages, both of who can deal with the legal bullshit later, declare the division of my estate as follows. To the Jack of Spades, who knows who he is, and to Madame Brian Gash, who also know who she is, I bequeath the soul of Sarah blank blank. Have fun fighting that out, you bottom-feeding parasites. Also, to the Jack of Spades, who once again knows who he is, I bequeath ownership of my share of House of Spades royalties for all associated albums and EPs, except self-titled, which was hack guitar work, and you absolutely know it. Consider it thanks for helping me program the logistics of Highway. Ash knowing full well you'd never get your disgusting squid dick wet again. To Anna Blank, I bequeath a copy of Confronting Drunk Driving by H. Lawrence Ross. If you're anything like your sister, I'd read it page to page. To the Goddess of Cider, who holds my beloved Ashy, I bequeath my soul, knowing full well it won't make the journey. And finally, to Brad Cameron, I bequeath everything else. You truly were the best among us, and I'm sorry for booting you from engineering for the sake of a 3-year-old self-termination.
I mean, it's not terrible. I just think it escalated a bit. I think it like had something going, and then halfway it kind of just decided, you know what? I'm self-terminating myself. And I'm like, oh, like I felt like it kind of just ended suddenly. Like it could have gone on just a little bit more.
So I've kind of talked about this before. There's a problem with certain horror concepts, or certain people that think they can write horror, where, you know, there's the common problem people hate, or people hate about horror, where it's like they explain too much, right? But some people who are bad at writing horror have the opposite problem, where they don't explain anything at all, even what we're supposed to be scared of. And it's like, okay, I don't understand like why I care about any of this, because you didn't really give me anything to latch on to.
Not only that, but this doesn't really feel like an SCP. It felt more like a true crime story.
A little bit, without even really explaining what the crime was.
Exactly. Like, not terrible. It's just, well, I guess, dang, that was that kind of escalated a bit too fast.
By the way, chat, this is 952. This was literally a series 0. This is one of the first ones. First 1000. Thank you, Internet Zen. This entire genre just has me going, holy shit, this is just emo with extra steps. I'd make my usual Kurt Cobain quip, but apparently the lady in the SCP beat me to the punch. And then Internet Zen puts another one. As a story, very middling, as something that should be on the SCP site. Absolute shite. Yeah, that's all that's really for 952.
I wouldn't even say it's bad. It's just, I mean, I guess it escalated quick. That's literally all I could just call it. It escalated quickly.
Yeah. So we have D7294's Declassified D-Class Survival Guide. So to point out what a D-Class is, because I guess that's something you kind of need to know. Obviously, the SCP organization is a bunch of scientists. And scientists are still going to experiment with like these monsters and shit, because that's what scientists do. But obviously, they're not stupid enough to risk themselves. So they use people that they refer to as D-Class. And D-Class are typically death row inmates or political prisoners. People that, if they die, they're probably not going to be missed. And they just keep like a supply of D-Class on site that they can be like, hey, so here's a stick. Go poke the giant dog monster thing and see what happens. And then we're gonna, oh, don't worry, you'll be safe. You'll be safe. We're gonna be behind this bulletproof glass and we're gonna take notes.
Okay.
Don't worry, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Just go poke him. Go poke him. You'll be good.
I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories about how D-Class die and stuff, because obviously if they're using a D-Class, there's a high chance they're just gonna die. The D-Class don't know that for obvious reasons. Oh. They're like, nah, you're just helping with some scientific projects. Just go poke the giant flesh wall. Don't worry about the 20 other bodies sticking out of it. Just go poke it with a stick.
Just a little bit.
So they link this. How long is this one? It's a little long.
What is it? I know. Okay, Lummer's in chat. I tried sending a message earlier, but for some reason, StreamerBot keeps eating the comment. So what we're doing is we're going through the viewer suggested of what they think is the worst SCP, and it's, let's just say, the best one so far was the Homestuck one, and the worst one so far was the supercomputer that makes memes that turns you right wing so you can end yourself. And this is the level of bar we're going at.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll read all of this, but I will look up if we might want to now that I'm starting to read ahead. So D952, please step forward. Veronica Fitzroy, step forward. So the lady we just talked about was apparently at some point a D-Class in the Foundation. She'd have assumed techno-fascist mad scientists would have worked on getting a better mugshot system. But hey, if some shadowy facet of the US government really did have need for meat through the grinder, it was a small price to pay for escaping life in men's prison. But it'd be over. She'd lost everything, botched a self-termination, and let bandages get away with everything. But it'd be over soon. That made her happy, at least. Just so we're clear, I'm like 90% sure this is supposed to be a trans woman. So the fact that they tried to dome themselves during an interview, kind of funny in a in a kind of cosmic sort of way.
I think this has to be, you know, this is one of those SCPs where it was like, all right, it started out decent, and then with more added context, it actually gets worse.
What's the content warning for? Desk, magical, grants wishes, looks fancy, roommate, transgender felon, claims a fairy lives inside, crescent-shaped hole. What?
Huh?
What does any of that mean?
They have schizophrenia?
They just let anybody write shit on this site now? Like, what?
I'm genuinely confused. What?
I don't know what
I
any of
think they're
that
trying to like. I think they're trying to say they're schizophrenic, which is just. There's implications with that.
I have no idea. I like how people in chat are just putting question marks. I don't know what it means. Even after the homophobia, drone strikes, and regressive tax laws, the US government always had one last way to fuck the world. The Foundation's best idea for an experiment was to put 20 murderers in the same room with 3 stooges who could barely operate a musical instrument. The only thing that could make it worse was if they were a Rush cover band, which in fact they were, because life was a series of practical jokes. Perhaps as part of the experiment, or perhaps as torture, several instruments had been scattered around the room for the rest of her merry band to play. Some, inexplicably, had already begun banging out Canada's sticks without a care in the world. Certainly without a care for music theory and its application. How anyone with half a functioning nervous system could stand 4 simultaneous, which was rather generous phrasing for a couple of offbeat lunatics, renditions of 2112 was anyone's guess. With every off-key shred, NP rock ate at the pit of her stomach and the back of her mind. Veronica was almost glad, getting up to smack the drummer in the face. One of the mall cops finally dragged her out. She could have been a professor by now, if she hadn't gotten sidetracked. Teaching undergraduates basic engineering equations by day, getting high off mushrooms, and fucking the music theory instructor by night. Maybe Ashy'd still be alive then. Mind was wandering. I did that these days. It did that these days. Wasn't like the problem before her deserved her attention. It was a shitty problem, written on shitty paper. At least according to Veronica, it was immediately clear that the whole process was objectively incorrect. Number theory didn't work like how this little bugger supposed it did, and several portions were straight up nonsense. That they expected her to write an analysis of the problem as if it made sense was nearly as nonsensical. But then things rarely made much sense anymore. You can't say the word sense that many times in a sentence, because it's poor, like, writing.
Yeah. I think the worst, again, it just keeps getting worse, because this sounds like someone who wanted to write an SCP about a band, but they wanted to write a true crime, but they also don't know how to write an SCP, and they've never made or been or looked into researching bands. They just looked up, bands of drug users and crazy and hypersexual. It just gets worse.
Veronica decided to take the inverse sign of said nonsense number and inexplicably found herself accosted by an angry grizzly bear.
Huh?
D7294 looked up as a tall, chestnut-haired, dyed blue, of course. That always boded well, especially with a dye job that horrid. Girl was deposited into his cell. Smiling, he deposited his book, Die Learn, a little reward for good behavior, to the wayside as he gave the poor girl a look over. Hello, are you still 1285, or am I speaking to fresh meat? The girl had an ugly laugh, somewhere between Baba Yaga and those dead-eyed video stars he used to watch in his free days, ending in a smile that never reached her eyes. Eyes not quite dead, but not quite alright. The disposables were rarely an alright folk. Do I look okay? Do I look fresh to you? Fresh is relative. Frankly, you look like roadkill that hasn't died. The second car would be coming soon enough. Girls this fragile rarely lasted, especially the ones who pissed off HR hard enough to earn a cell with D7294. Yeah, 7294 swore he could spot the slightest bit of amusement on the wretch's face. Dead on. The bemusement faded quickly from the girl's face as she collapsed in a slump in the corner. Just waiting for the right thing to do me in. Fucking taking them long enough. 7294 almost felt something. A vestige from a dozen lifetimes past. Perhaps the memory drugs rarely erase the imprint memories left. We should talk about the same person. Why is this linked to a completely different place?
A human female mannequin.
Oh yeah, there's the human female mannequins.
Okay.
So my understanding with the human female mannequin is, for whatever reason, if you put a woman near them, they just get like ridiculously violent and try to beat her to death. And that's it. That's the whole thing. It's a mannequin that's technically alive, but it's only alive if there's a woman around. And if there's a woman around, they tries to beat the shit out of her.
Yeah.
It's a misogynist mannequin, basically.
I can't even put it into words. I'm like trying to comprehend what you just told me.
Yeah. I did see something. After the results of experiment 847G, upon order of the ethics committee, intersex, transgender, and non-binary personnel are prohibited from working with, handling, or approaching SCP-847 for their own safety and well-being. I feel like this was added later. I don't remember this being in the original article.
Go back up, because it had an extra dialogue with it. What?
Oh, wait,
I like caught it near the end. No. Up back at the original paragraph you just read.
Oh, here.
Here we go. What is it? When assigned personnel to SCP-847, preference is to be given to men who are not sexually attracted to women.
This has got to have been added later. You see this? Only men crossed out. XY males identifying as such are to be designed or permitted within a 50-meter radius. I really feel like this was added later.
So what you're saying is that this female mannequin goes around beating women practically to death. We can't let anyone on the LGBT near it just for their own safety, and it only is it only allows people who are gay to interact with it.
So there's apparently this tells you where this site is. So the rewrite, originally from an unknown author, is up. Normally I like to wait around 24 hours before I start commenting explanations and things, just to make sure I know people are coming from their own impressions without my external influence. However, this particular article took more out of me than I thought it would, so I've worked out a bit of an FAQ I'd like to add over time as questions come in, starting with a number of things that came up during my drafting. Why was it rewritten? Short answer, of course, is that it dropped into the negatives and was in danger of being deleted. However, that's not the whole story. 847 is popular enough that there's no good way to just let it die anyways. There's lots of fan art of 847. It's a popular article for YouTube readings. Someone tried to write a game for it. It needed to be kept around somehow. So that's something to explain, like, where the site has gone. This, like, you noticed that, like, when this one popped up, I immediately told you exactly what it was and how it worked. It is a popular one. People know this one. It's always been popular. So the fact that whatever happened on the site caused this one to drop into the negatives tells you that the site has had a shift in kind of what people see it as.
Yeah.
If it's so popular, why the low rating? Well, its allure is also its drawback. The picture and article are, to be honest, naively misogynistic. It's a sexy, broken female object that runs around attacking women. I don't think the original author meant anything bad by that. They just had the idea something that was sexy creepy. But in the end, it reduces women to victims, and it's a literal symbol of objectification itself.
I would agree if number one, it beats you to death. if you're just a hint of feminine air is in the room. The problem is that, number one, you have to state, if you are this specific gay, you are going to be beat to, you have a likelihood of 50-50 likelihood of getting beat to death also. And then it was like, oh, so unless you're a gay man. Which is like, there's so many like implications for that, which basically means if you're a woman, a trans woman, and possibly a trans man, because, I don't know, maybe the mannequin is like, you know what, I'm gonna be homophobic today. I'm just gonna beat you to death. And it's just like, it's...
So...
it's just bad.
Due to its popularity, it had to remain much intact in this form. However, this inherent misogyny had to be acknowledged and addressed. Why attack women? Why does it exist? I turned that in my head and realized that it had to be a story about the horrors of female objectification, and that's what I wrote. These are the people that are a part of SCP now. They can't just let a misogynist mannequin be a misogynist mannequin. They have to, like, turn it into this whole fight about what is and isn't, like, acceptable in horror. And it's so fucking dumb. Again,
it's that this is misogynistic, so let's make it inclusive misogynistic. I'm so, like, baffled, because it was already enough that it was a sexist mannequin.
Yeah.
Then they're like, yeah, no, I just get to beat anybody that just looks female enough. Like, you're telling me that doesn't sound like more sexist than like the original?
Hey, it looks female enough to me. Thank you, Pyroferno. The literal symbol of objectification is 446, not 847. And thank you, Internet Zen Master, who said, you know, when you guys started this series, I bemoaned how elitist the creepypasta wiki mods were for purging Jeff the Killer and other stories from their site years ago. Now I understand why they wanted higher standards. But yeah, this is hella stupid. And they have just, I was trying to look up the edits. I didn't actually mean to click the discussion. I'm glad I accidentally clicked the discussion. That's where the site is now, though.
I'm just baffled. Like, I genuinely am at a loss for words.
Yeah.
You went from it's like, this is misogynistic, so we're gonna make it even more misogynistic.
Yeah.
And the only thing that can interact with this creature is basically gay men. Which is like... It's like that one... It's weirdly enough, how I picture that entire situation is just that one Pokemon meme from when Sword and Shield came out and like the tree was beating up the main character. Just replace both of them with like the mannequin doll.
Look up edits as well.
Was it rewritten by the original author, or did someone else entirely rewrite it?
It's someone else entirely.
Yeah.
He added a picture on 2019, which was 3 years after this. I wonder what picture it was.
Isn't that one doll from the that one guy?
I don't know on that one.
That it was I know Smiling Friends made a reference to it.
But it was a year before this is when it was actually... Yeah, it doesn't track before the rewrite? That's stupid. Can I see the old version? I don't see like a...
I'm assuming when they revamped it was exactly during the time they had the old edits. So basically, it's just gone.
By the way, chat,
At
no,
least
that's not
my
the I Feel
opinion.
Fantastic robot. That might be what Kendra's thinking of, though.
Yes, that one.
It's
That's the
not
one
the
I'm
I
thinking
Feel
of.
Fantastic robot, though. Her face is a bit more uncanny valley. I think that's like just an actual person that they're
Okay.
pretending is a doll. Even though one of the reasons for rewriting it was that they used a picture of a real person instead of a doll.
And
Thank
no
you.
archive, probably.
Yeah. I mean, there's one somewhere for sure.
Yeah.
It's probably like online though. Don't what? I had to pull it back up because I'm dumb.
All right.
847. Original. So here's the thing, right? This was the original 847 article. This was it.
Okay.
It really was not much. And then this is the new one.
Oh. So basically okay, number one, they basically pulled the Plague Doctor and then they gave her plastic surgery to make her pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Which just like defeats the purpose of this. So
Yep. And the shorter articles were better, in my opinion. Like, the longer and longer they get, they start, like, explaining more and more stuff, and it's like, this is not working for you.
Would it be okay if I read it?
If you want to, yeah.
Yeah. All right. SCP-847, object class Elucid. Special containment procedures. SCP-847 is kept inside a locked room, reinforced with vanadium, steel, and concrete. In addition, SCP-847 must be kept chained up to at least 4 of the 12 electrically live hard points in the room at all times. These hard points are connected to a relay of backup generators that will activate in case of power failure. Should these generators fail or the chains become disconnected from the live hardpoints, protocol SCP-847-E2 is to be enacted immediately and to remain active until SCP-847 can be properly secured. This is to be escalated to level E6 in the containment room is breached. All personnel posted to SCP-847 must be armed with containment device 29, a shock baton with internal charge of 30,000 volts. No female personnel are permitted within 100 meters radius of SCP-847. Any female personnel found within this radius are to be incapacitated and removed from the area immediately. SCP-847 resembles a human female mannequin. Researchers have been unable to determine if the missing pieces are due to injury, degradation, or attack. SCP-847 is normally dormant unless it is in close proximity to a human female. Experimentation has determined the radius of this effect to operate at around 50 to 100 meters. SCP-847 will animate under the circumstances and will make every attempt to reach the human female, exhibiting unnatural strength, immense destructive activity, and total single-mindedness. See archive file SCP-847-32198 for previously documented escape attempt. Upon reaching the female it is pursuing, SCP-47 will proceed to data expunge. SCP-847's only known vulnerability is high-capacity electricity. Judicious application of electricity will render SCP-847 temporarily dormant. Discovery: SCP-847 was discovered apparently inert in a remote location in the hills of Mojave Desert.
Mojave.
Mojave Desert in... Oh.
It's the Mojave.
It's not my fault. It's my first time seeing it. In the Mojave Desert on blank blankety blank, a female hiker who had gone missing was discovered near the mannequin, apparently killed by massive blunt trauma. Enough evidence exists for the police to connect the killing to the mannequin. Luckily, SCP operatives caught wind of the event during the preliminary investigation before SCP-847 had been taken from the crime scene and potentially allowed to become active. The discovery stands as a perfect example of how and why close adherence to public surveillance procedures is necessary for the continued success of the entire organization. Additional data, SCP-847 was originally found in a further state of disrepair. Appears to have regenerated somewhat between initial discovery and present time. It is hypothesized that the regeneration method is linked to the obsessive desire for human females. The method SCP-847 uses to detect females in such a range, even despite the containment procedure, is also as yet unknown. Okay.
So this article was deeply misogynistic, horribly abusive to women, and had to be removed and rewritten because it was just that bad.
And the worst part is they replaced it with something that somehow is even more misogynistic and very, very. I'd actually call the new one problematic. This one is just, oh, hey, clearly this creature is like a ritual doll creature of something that wants to become human. Of course, it's going to attack female women because it wants to attack female women. But it's not even misogynistic. It's just, this is a creature that will kill women. Keep it away from women. That is how the myth is. And then the new one's like, yeah, it's just gonna attack you if you look female enough, unless you're gay and a man.
Looks girl enough. Also beats men for some reason, not really sure why. So just make sure you're gay as fuck, and then, you can deal with it. It's so stupid. Holy shit. This is what needed to be rewritten. Yes, this allegedly needed to be rewritten because it was so deeply misogynistic and objectifying towards women that it could not be let stand.
And remember, if you remember the image, what is it? Because like some of my chat can't see it. In the new version, they basically gave her, they beautified her.
Oh yeah,
they gave her a comb over.
They gave her a glow up.
Yep. She went on to kill more people and got her glow up like she wanted. Just a few sacrifices of D-class.
See, the pictures throw me off, right? Because first we have like this collection of mannequins, which it's hard to tell from a distance, but they all actually look like they're in good shape from the distance.
Yeah.
Which then they show this, which doesn't even look like a mannequin. It looks more like a stone statue of some sort.
That clearly looks like it's from a museum.
Yeah. And then it's this one, that just looks like a regular fucking woman. Although, granted, that could be somebody's sex doll.
I'm pretty sure it real. Because there's like realistic dolls out there, and it's like, oh, I think that really is a sex doll.
It would be so funny.
Just adds to the...
It'd be so funny to find out that this was the author's sex doll.
Please,
also, no chat, you cannot click on any of them.
Also, here's the thing. If that is a sex doll, that's not really helping this is clearly the non-misogynistic version. Because the other one wasn't a sex doll.
So this, I guess, like from base where we were at D7294, this is actually where that was going to. Yeah. So, description of event. SCP-847 tears out all pubic... What the fuck? You thought the other one was problematic? Like, what the fuck are you writing? SCP-847 tears out all pubic hair during a period of pattern Z behavior. Of note is that this is the only shattering event that has not been linked to a pattern Y period. SCP-847 has not attempted replacement. Description of event.
May I ask what is a pattern Z and pattern Y?
No idea.
Oh, so we're just making it up in a dream.
That's just for this SCP. Who knows what it means?
Mm-hmm.
Date 9/23/2013. Description of event: SCP-847 extracts brains, eyes, clavicle, and shatters hands. Research notes: SCP-847 had become fully intact under researcher Tyler Jensen's supervision. In the interest of reducing 847's capabilities, a test was authorized with D7294 chosen because he had been convicted of multiple murders of a sexual nature. Shattering event lasted 45 minutes, with SCP-847 emitting novel screeching vocalizations throughout. Partial debriefing interview follows. Dr. D7294, please state your opinion of 847. I'll have you read them.
It knows its play. Oh my gosh. We went from an how do you try and claim the previous one is misogynistic and you go on to write a misogynist?
Please elaborate.
Oh my god. The way it squeals and grovels, it knows what it's there for. Pity it does a lousy job. Please tell me this doesn't mean that he assaulted the mannequin. Oh my god.
In
you know what?
what
That
way?
explains that explains the sex doll picture. You know what?
In what way?
Oh my gosh. It doesn't follow orders. Yes, you can pose it, humiliate it, and but it doesn't do much more than a mule. Oh gosh. I'm that one. You remember that one episode of Mr. Krabs and how he was trying to impress Mrs. Puff, and then there was that time he just made the noise. Ugh. Yeah, that's me right now. But instead of being in love, I want to die. I can't. I'm not replacing that word. You know exactly what I meant.
Yep.
Oh. I had to break off a finger just to see if it mattered. It didn't. Pause. You know, it's ironic. You dream your entire life of finding a woman who's that compliant, that devoid of thought, that helpless to your every whim, and when you find her, she's just a useless mannequin who can't do anything. Oh my god.
Thank you, D7294. We're done here. Guards, please escort him back to his cell.
Please put the author of this in the penis explosion chamber.
Again, this one, deeply sexist and misogynistic. Can't have that. This one, apparently now she's tearing out pubic hair and getting assaulted by sexual predators. Yeah, this is so much better, guys.
Oh my god. We need to actually apologize to the Homestuck comic. Please. I'm actually begging you. I will petition. I will write a petition to do this.
So bad, bro.
Oh my gosh. We went from like monstrous mannequin to I think we're gonna rewrite this story to the we're gonna have her assault all forms of women. We're gonna have her assaulted. Oh gosh, this is awful.
It's really weird. And it's positive. It is up to 604 positive.
That is a lie. I know good and well that is a lie. We already learned last time that they can manipulate the vote. I do not think that is real.
But yeah, chat, this is where we've gotten. Okay, here we go. We've got some. They have 3 behavioral patterns, Z, Y, and X. The pattern Z behaviors occur when there is no human within 50 members. It remains inanimate and silent 99.5% of the time under these conditions. When animate, it will dress in any available clothes, stand in front of any available full-length mirror, and return to an inanimate state, adopting a pose that showcases the outfit worn. It favors clothing which is designed for young women and which leaves ample skin exposure. Again, the other one was misogynistic.
I think this was actually written by a misogynist. Like, I'm genuinely serious. I think this was written by like a genuine, real life misogynist, and we are bearing witness to this.
Also, really quick, Internet Zen says, hold up, D7294 was the MTF trans that self-terminated, right? Just listening to the story, I can understand why Cactus Guy takes so much pride in his work, because dear God in heaven, why? That's the thing that confuses me, right? So, no, she's D952. The trans woman is D952. She, or at least who I believe is her, gets put in a cell with this guy, 7294, who links to this article because apparently he's somebody that assaulted the fucking the mannequin. Which, can you call it an assault if it's a mannequin? Because, like, it's technically like a half-alive mannequin, but it's still like a mannequin.
Its specific purpose is to be a woman, which not, like, going back to even the other one, you put the trans women with an assault.
Yes. Somebody convicted of a bunch of rape. Who you put them in a room with a fucking mannequin and they couldn't, like, hold themselves back, I guess.
I believe that everybody in the room right now should just have explosive diarrhea. Please eat the Taco Bell lettuce currently under investigation.
Lord Kagai says, goes on lunch. First thing I hear is mannequin being essayed. That's where we've ended up at somehow. So also in pattern Z behavior, they scratch short messages on nearby surfaces with a finger or available appendage. Pattern Y behaviors are adopted when there are male subjects, but no female subjects within 50 meters. Independent of intervening obstacles, initial stage behaviors involve emitting vocalizations resembling high-pitched whimpering gasps and adopting more provocative poses. Occasional shudders can be observed during this time. After 3 to 5 minutes of the initial stage, its behavior enters a secondary stage during which it becomes fully animate, approaching any male subject, adopting a hunched pose, and appearing to look up into the subject's eyes. Vocalizations during this period become more frequent and longer in duration. Subjects are able to handle and freely alter or pose SCP-847 during this time. When posed, it holds the new pose as balance allows. The final stage of Pattern Y behavior occurs approximately 5 minutes after all subjects have left the 50-meter perimeter of SCP-847. It will then shatter select portions of its body and or extract internal structures. Once shattering or extraction is complete, it emits sobbing vocalizations and returns to Pattern Z behaviors. I just looked over to your face.
You can't see, chat, you can't see my real face right now. But him reading all of that genuinely made me deeply uncomfortable. Like, genuinely deeply uncomfortable, because nobody would write something like this unless they are a misogynist in some form or way. Because why are you basically making her whimper and gasp and be... It's so weird, bro.
And remember,
so freaking weird.
The original article was very sexist and misogynist. It was just a half sentient mannequin that attacked women for unknown reasons. And now it either attacks women or dances in front of a mirror dressing itself up, or I guess gasping and moaning while arching its back and posing for men.
To be honest, when I first heard the whimpering and moaning, I thought it was like, is it masturbating for any man in the room?
It's just making it sound like it.
Because that's what it sounds like. It's just so freaking weird. Can we go back to the map?
Vocalizations were deeper and upon initial acquisition and become increasingly higher in pitch over time. See audio log 847 for comparison.
We are not listening to that. we are both gonna have our entire channels taken down if we genuinely play that.
So somewhere at the bottom, there's an audio log of this alleged high-pitched whimpering and gas.
We are not. I am pretty this has to be. If we play that, we are both gonna get not only demonetized, we will be absolutely terminated off of YouTube. And I like my YouTube account. I like all of my YouTube accounts. We're not risking that.
And then we have one more. We have pattern X behaviors. Occurs when any female subject approaches within 50 meters. Independent of intervening obstacles, whether male subjects are present or not, SCP-847 will emit vocalizations resembling distressed grunts and screeches. Immediately animate and physically attack the woman. During pattern X behaviors, 847's strength and speed are greatly increased, with sprints up to 45 kilometers per hour and an exertion of 40 kilonewtons of force have been measured. During an attack, 847 will occasionally shatter an appendage, usually a finger or toe, in order to produce a sharp edge. Furthermore, plastinization? Resin is released from its eyes, mouth, and shattered section of the body. Resin falling in open wounds results in a quick hardening of soft tissues that spread until the victim's body reaches a composition of a similar polymer as SCP-847. Following plastinization, SCP-847 will harvest select body parts from the victim corresponding to damaged sections of its own body. It will fuse these parts to its body via the resin. Not all damaged sections will be repaired this way. Upon completion of harvesting, SCP-847 will return to Pattern Y or Pattern Z behavior. So now it beats a woman to death, covers her in plastic, and starts ripping off body parts to replace its own.
So it went from something decently cool of, ooh, it killed the women, but it magically repairs itself over time. Something mysterious too.
Yeah.
I beat women. I whimper and cry for men. I'm just
I'm
just confused.
Says there's a log of all the pictures.
Hold up, I'll be
okay. I don't know where they put shit in the site anymore. Just in files? That's that one. Oh, I'm done. Get a middle mouse clicked. What about you? Your face. That's just actually a sex doll. Fuck off. Oh, that's the new one. Basement.jpg. Oh, that's those one. Why are the what? Why do they have screenshots of their discussion in the files?
What I miss? What I miss?
So down here in the files, they have a couple of pictures. Most of them we've seen, except this one, which isn't on the site anymore, and this one, which is 100% just an actual sex doll. Like no question, if ands or buts about it.
I think this was actually written by a misogynist.
But then there's all of these, and these are just. So this is a screenshot of the original article. It had reached -10 at some point. And then it's like screenshots of their discussion. So this was the discussion on the original article. I guess this is probably the only place where these discussions are saved. Because I don't know if this site actually... Yeah, it only has this, new discussions, on this particular page. It doesn't actually save the old discussions.
Okay.
So... Female, in quotes. A note about transgendered personnel, perhaps. How about live organs removed from female D class? Would the SCP activate in proximity to a live human liver, live ovaries, 30 liters of fresh blood extracted from multiple females? What about female non-human anthropoid apes, or for that matter, females of any mammalian species? This is the kind of retarded shit they would post on this site, by the way, like when these new people started coming in. Do you need all of these explained? No, you don't need all of this shit explained. Not important.
Not only that, it just comes off sexist.
Yeah.
It just comes off. I'm genuinely like deeply uncomfortable because it's like, again, I can understand like getting into the nitty gritty at least a little bit about it. It's like, all right, okay, you want to include trans people, fine. But then again, the whole stuff with the whimpering and being able to be posed anywhere, and I'm like genuinely uncomfortable.
Somebody replies, of course, it also depends what you mean by transgendered. You mean the normal transgendered people or the ones affected by the gender switcher? I'm going to go with no, not transgender. Yes, SCP-113 victims. Yes, living organs, but not blood. No, not apes. It says human females, not apes. I only say yes to the organs because really that's squicky and makes me in particular cringe. They reply, of course, when I say transgendered, I just don't mean male to female. Also, re-organs. Some organs can be transplanted into people of the opposite gender, I think. See, this is like where you get into like these really retarded questions that none of this matters. If this was a real thing, this might be something like interesting to test on it. It's not real though. It's a story. And in a story, knowing this information does not make the story more interesting. Somebody else replies, my thought here, female sex, i.e. body parts, female gender, mental and psychological, or female genetics, XX chromosome. If genetics triggers it, what about XXY individuals? What about semi-theoretically XO individuals?
Huh?
Yeah, I have no idea.
I'm confused because the whole point of this month, it's trying to explain the monster. Stop trying to explain the monster. The monster goes whoever. That's the point.
Yeah.
It's complicating the lore. Like, calm down with it.
Internet Zen says, as Magma said in chat, this is the problem with over-explaining horror. Some things do not need to be explained. The rewrite was either by a comically bad misogynist or a misogynistic AGP. No other option. And then James Simpson sent one and says, wasn't the entire point of the OG it being a sexual abuse allegory? It could have been. I'm not sure the original had any allegories to it, though.
I wouldn't say the original had allegories to it other than, like, at least from what I extracted of it, you could say it was like body image issues and that attacking prettier women would help it become prettier. Like, that's what you could have extracted from that. This, however, is just, again, it's just deeply uncomfortable.
XO equals 1X and no Y. It's Turner syndrome. So they should have just said X instead of XO. I don't think I've ever referred to it as XO, but I could be wrong.
I'm not familiar with Turner syndrome.
Yeah, you can basically have, I think you can only, if you have only one chromosome, you can have one X, but you can't have one Y. I think if you have one Y, you kind of just die.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong, but I think that's the way it works, is you can have one X, you can't have one Y.
Okay.
So Dexanote says, yes, you can have organs from the opposite gender, which is why it would be so squicky. Lol, move this creepy doll. Wait, why is she hitting my kidney? Then she messily rips it out and expunged. Really, just an addendum about Dr. Blackbox getting killed because he has a woman's kidney liver would be fine. I think an entire experiment log that's just unnecessary. Somebody called Pig Catapult says, giving Vox permission to make an experiment log on the condition of tread carefully, as this is a sensitive subject for some people. Somebody replied, I would say not to. You're splitting hairs and there's nothing it would actually add to the article. See, some people were still smart and they're like, none of this is actually adding to this article at all.
Like, this is like fun. You could like, this is like something that would be like a good breeding ground for like fan theories and stuff. Like, that's what a comment section should be for.
Yeah.
But I would like, I take that than what we got.
Exactly. I just realized there's a panty shot in here, just barely.
Why are you looking for panty shots?
Like,
I didn't even notice that.
Christ, this is freaky. This is horrifying. Not sure what to think about this one, really. It's creepy, sure, but I'm concerned about what it actually does. A couple people saying it should be rated higher. Here we go. Not a fan of how it's presented. Sure, the picture is creepy, but it really just boils down to a mannequin that goes berserk and kills women for no real reason to repair itself. Plus, I have a hard time believing the phrase "caught wind" would be in an official document.
Yes, it would.
Did we miss that? Oh, caught wind of the event. That's what they meant. Yeah, no, people say that in regular speech.
You're gonna use, like, not everything needs to be super professional. Also, hello Jazz and hello El Ringo. But not everything needs to be like super professional. Just everybody knows what caught wind is in English.
I was planning to go over more articles tonight, but we might end up stuck on just this one because this is ridiculous. I don't think this one is particularly creepy or interesting. It's just a hostile mannequin, and it's one of many SCPs which uses data expungement to forego describing the exact effect, which it seems like the article is building to. I can agree with that, but like, I also think these things on the side are what they rated the article. So this person rated it like a 4 out of 5, this person rated a 1, and this person rated a 0. Enough evidence existed for the police to connect the killing to the mannequin. This killed it for me. It was mediocre before, but this had me hitting the downvote button. No human being not familiar with the strange and bizarre would IRL make the logical jump that an inert mannequin could kill. There could be a note on the site saying the mannequin did it. There could be a written testimony from the mannequin. There could be a video of the mannequin attacking, and a sane, rational police officer would insist some mundane explanation, like a killer operating it with strings, and anyone who said otherwise would be looked away as a nutter.
Or all evidence pointed to the mannequin because there's no fingerprints, there's no footprints, there's just a weapon. We just believe that it's a weapon, but the SCP is like, no, we're gonna look into it. It's not that complicated.
Yeah.
You're like complicating something that doesn't need to be that complicated.
Why data expunged? The expungement killed it for me. Wow, a thing that beats people to death. So unique. Downvote. Okay, so that's a 4 out of 5 as well. So I don't think this is a downvote system. I don't know what this is then on the side.
Okay.
Don't know why, but I always like this SCP. Maybe it's because of its frenzy and superpower, with which it only pursues the female, that gives the reader an opportunity to think a bit on what's going on, whether it only kills the target. The discovery stands as a perfect example of how and why close adherence to public surveillance procedures is necessary for the continued success of the entire organization. The whole SCP was a veiled intra-foundation public service ad. I always like that part to it, because I like that the scientists are kind of in their notes putting in like little, like, and this is why our job is important kind of shit, because I've seen that in actual scientific articles before. Don't think I'm being messed up, but what is behind that redaction? Murder, disembodiment, decapitation, death by... Can you people not fucking spell? Concoision. Like, oh my god. Rape, beating, strangulation, cutting, drinking fucking blood, etc. That leaves it pretty wide open. All we know is that it kills and leaves Bettine corpses. Jesus Christ, you people are stupid. I would have looked to know how it kills 173 style, 106 style. Maybe I messed up to think this, but too bad. And they say autocorrect, liked to know, not looked. Is that really the only thing you thought was wrong in your post?
Again, these people just want to explain the monster. Stop. It's like trying to explain, like, stop trying to explain the monster. Just leave it as is.
Don't know what it does to people. Unsure if it's implying sexual assault or just violence. Either way, I don't like it at all. Definitely has not aged well.
Beating people to death should age well?
Yeah. This is officially my least favorite Series 1 skip. Just barely beating out 075 in scary looking thing that kills you in very boring way, and that's it. It's not even that I hate intrinsically manic, nigh unstoppable killer ones, as those can be made well given the right context, effects, or motivations. This is just all around uninteresting for me. To put that into perspective, one of the most popular SCPs ever, bar none, is just called the Hard to Destroy Reptile. And it's just some giant crocodile looking thing that can't be killed and just likes killing people. And not like in special ways. It literally just bites them and eats them. Like a crocodile would. And it is one of the most popular on the entire site.
So what I'm getting from this is that, okay, from what we're seeing from the timeline of events, it isn't that, oh, they changed it just because they thought it was misogynistic, which again, debatable considering what we got actually. It was that people were downvoting it because they thought they were boring. They wanted to compensate for something by making it actually misogynistic and using misogyny as a veil to make it so that clearly this new stuff is not misogynistic. And then we got what we got.
Yeah. This is a classic that aged poorly. I'm downvoting, but hope it can be rewritten at some point. It's a shame, as this is a really old one. Back in the old days, we all thought this was really good, but now I agree it's bland. I'm not that great a writer, but I imagine it wouldn't be that hard to fix. Just give it an interesting twist. Even something simple like it tries to repair itself from the dead bodies. But as the flesh degrades, the process starts over or something. Then add in a little containment thing about providing it D-class or something. Not that great an idea, but it's remarkably simple and could save the article. IDK would be nice for a good writer to fix it though, and of course if anyone wants to use my idea for this article or another, feel free to do so.
This is like someone trying to update the Twilight Zone. You don't need to update the Twilight Zone. Now you can make your own interpretation, but it's like, it's just giving, I think I can do better, and then it's just garbage.
Yeah. Really boring and dry, poor expungement, tacky as fuck horror, and the picture makes it even more cheesy, and this is coming from someone with a huge phobia of mannequins. -1 all the way. Someone needs to rewrite this. Was one of my favorite SCPs. Now compared to newer ones, it's poor. I'd love to try and rewrite this one if that's okay, and I can. I do really enjoy the idea of this SCP, but I'm also in favor of a rewrite to bring it back up to current standards, withholding my upvote for now. If there's anything I've noted from my study of SCP reports, it's that a set of interesting addendums can take a lackluster report by the hand and lead us all down the rabbit hole. Any of us who are fans of the Mystery series can attest to this. While there is need for some definite polishing to this report, I do believe that can have new life breathed into it with possible experimental and interrogative addendums. This is sufficiently intriguing, but I think that many of us can agree this was not fulfilling in the way that the newer reports are. We may also find a trend in the newer reports which includes more addendum than their more classical counterparts, merely a thought.
I really hate this every time they keep being like, we should change it, we should rewrite it, because it's like, the whole point of this is that it's supposed to be like a scientific paper.
Yeah. And
so they want to basically remove the previous one so that they can jazz it up a bit. And it's like, it's not supposed to be jazzed up a bit. It's supposed to be a scientific paper, not fanfic.net.
Yeah. I think like you guys forgot what SCP was supposed to be. Which is ironic, considering somebody at the start was like, I don't think somebody would say caught wind in an official paper. And then everybody else is like, we just have to add all this random bullshit to the paper.
They'd be like, caught wind? That's ridiculous to add. Let's add it ripping out its own pubic hair.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that's about. How does a mannequin even grow pubic hair?
I don't know, stole it off of another body or something.
I guess. Internet Zen says the mannequin would have been taken into evidence because it's covered in blood. Also, so many of these commenters cannot rotate the apple in their head. They definitely can't. So then we have this long one. This falls victim to the same thing that is pretty much every modern SCP does. Misuse of data expunged. By the way, this was not modern SCP. This was old as fuck. Redacting things only heightens the fear factor when you give us just enough information without going over. When the data expunged happens here, we were given absolutely nothing that indicates what might have happened. So what might have happened...
supposed to know what happened!
Yeah, what might have happened is literally anything, and that's not scary. Look, so I agree, sometimes people just don't say anything, and you don't really know what you're supposed to be scared of. All you know is that the doll will do something to you, you will not live through it, and that's like all you really need to know. They don't have to list out a detailed report of exactly how it kills you. It's kind of dumb.
That's like going to like what is it? That's like going through a true crime scene and being like, yeah, I know they were stabbed, but can you like tell me in specific detail how long the knife was and how they stabbed them specifically? And they'll tell you that, but they're not going to go into great detail because the public doesn't need to know that. That's the whole point.
The next in the paragraph, it says the person was killed by blunt force trauma. So the thing was expunged. Was the robot beating the woman to death? Why would that need to be expunged? Especially when you explicitly state it in the next paragraph. I would have left out the bit about the woman beaten to death and the subsequent, and that's why you've got to remain vigilant, folks, in the middle of a scientific paper. I would have made it read something like, upon reaching the female it is pursuing, SCP will proceed to data expunge. The female usually does not survive this.
That's boring.
See, that doesn't change, that doesn't fix it. I don't understand. Like, I changed it to something different that's just as vague and just as useless. More so.
Actually, no, I'd say it's more vague and more useless because the actual previous one sounds like it's written by a person. This sounds like it's written by a robot.
Yeah.
By an actual mannequin.
Chat says, I'm looking up SCP-001. Did it change so much? I'm confused. It seems like it's trolling, saying reading it and you'll die or something. So it's important to understand that SCP-001 is not one thing. It is a dozen or so articles, all claiming to be the real SCP-001. And that was supposed to be, like, the point of it, I guess. I always thought SCP-001 was stupid. Because they're just like, well, it's the first one, so it has to be extra special. But it doesn't have to be extra special. It could be boring. It could just be the first one they found. Like, I actually think that would make more sense for this kind of organization, is if the original SCP-001 was something that was just kind of mundane, but still anomalous. Like, it's not like a huge monster, it's not like a big world-ending threat, it's just something kind of anomalous and kind of weird that tuned in the organization to, okay, there's anomalous shit out there, you know?
Yeah.
That said, the only 001 proposal I like is a giant flaming angel that allegedly stands in front of the Garden of Eden, and anybody that walks near it will have like an order projected into their mind to leave. Except the founder of the SCP organization tried to walk closer to it, and he got the order from the angel to secure, contain, protect. And that is where the SCP organization came from. Literally a divine commandment from the angel guarding the Garden of Eden. That is the only one that I find somewhat interesting.
That's actually really, really cool.
Yeah, I like that one. But I also would have been fine with it just being something mundane and stupid with like a little footnote that says this is the first anomalous object on record.
I would have had the first one just be a supercomputer.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. It's just supercomputer does supercomputer things. And then the supercomputer is like the one to really inform people, being like, hey, there's anomalous stuff out there. Here's the data, and here's how I'll help you catch them. It's
the order might have been
simple.
prepare. You might be correct. I remembered it differently, but I haven't read it in a long time. Thank you, Lord Bruticus. These people must be deathly allergic to the idea of less is more. I dread the idea of these people pursuing processional writing careers. And then Internet Zen says there's a reason why H.P. Lovecraft didn't provide too many details in his stories. He and his audience knew how to use their imagination back then.
Here's the thing. There are people that still know how to use their imagination even now. The problem is you have people that don't know how to use their imagination, who don't know how to turn the apple around and turn it crystallized or E3D or whatever. And they're like, yeah, but I think this story that's pretty simple should be jazzed up a bit to fit modern. It literally is this literal entire discussion is modern audience.
Yeah, pretty much.
Has to appeal to the modern audience.
So the last of this person's comment is, this works on several levels. It implies violence, very much narrowing down the field. Victim was found dead from blunt force trauma doesn't imply violence. Dumbass. But the usually kind of sticks out. Adds to the dread in a weird way. They usually don't survive, but sometimes they do, meaning the robot doesn't set out to kill these women. But it does. You're literally changing what it does now.
It's not even a robot.
It's a mannequin. It got some other purpose in mind. That coupled with the regeneration and the implication that that's the reason that it seeks out the women, that would make this effective IMO. As it is, it's just boring, a violent robot that hates women.
It's not a robot, it's a mannequin, and clearly we've had mannequin stories. It clearly just wants to be a real girl. It's not that hard. It's literally a violent Pinocchio story. It's not that hard to comprehend.
Yeah. Something at the bottom here. This falls victim to the same thing that pretty much every modern SCP does, misuse of data expunged. SCP is modern or maybe postmodern. This site is only a few years old and the internet didn't exist prior to the 16th century or, 1973. At any rate, even leaving off the fact that this article is Series 1 from 2008 or earlier, since it was probably migrated from the old site, how do you figure that excessive or misused redactions are a Series 3 problem? Most of the examples I can think of with a lot of redactions are in Series 1. Can you link to some recent successful articles that you feel misuse redactions? So then we're 10, 11, 12, and 13. I was hoping to find something like weird in these. Downvoting to push a rewrite or deletion.
So they're brigading. They're literally admitting to trying to brigade. Or successfully brigading.
This person says, seeing as this is almost dead, I'd like to ask if I can take ownership of this, which I believe is an orphaned article pending a rewrite proposed to me by Wrong John Silver. We'll discuss permanent ownership later. So this is a problem, right? So if you go to like the SCP FAQ, they basically say that your story is your own. And if you choose to leave the site, you can choose to have your stories leave with you. This is just somebody who's not active anymore, and they're like, they're probably gone, we'll just take their shit.
Yeah.
So it's already not yours. And it's not that I necessarily care as much that it's not yours, because it was supposed to be a collaborative site, but these are the rules that you set forward, and you immediately throw them out when you just want to take something.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a real rule of the site. It's just something you pretend exists.
Not only that, but, like, it's also just kind of disrespectful to the original person. It's like, I think it's lazy. I think it's bad. It's like, yeah, there are stories out there that by today's standards that are, like, simple for, like, back then, but they exist for a reason, and we should appreciate them for a reason, because you wouldn't even know if something was poorly written now if we didn't have something from back then.
Yeah.
It just comes off as tone deaf and just... I can do better because I'm a modern audience.
So this is the wrong John Silver person.
Okay.
I'm guessing he pops in soon. That's so. I guess I have to read this now. I wasn't going to. Wrong John Silver says, this xenomorph person. I have to pull their thing back up because I did not think I was gonna have to read it. I kind of like SCP-173, except it's like his misogynist sister, which I found ironic because 847 is female mannequin doll. Also, I find 847 really damn sexy. Please tell me if this is normal or not.
It's not.
Wrong John Silver replies to this person, this xenomorph person. Hey, what do you think, Dexanote? Should I go over how it's rewrite this here? Xenomorph replies, just fixed it. No need to go over how to edit my comment above. Edit, so it's not my comment, it's the article I see. Decibels, if you're willing to rewrite this, get in touch with me. Xenomorph says, sure, I would love to rewrite this. They said, well, I replied to Wrong John Silver since he requested the rewrite up thread, but if you want to rewrite it, sure, I can have you both write drafts. I will send a PM. Wrong John Silver says, PM sent. Don't worry, Xenomorph. I wasn't talking about rewriting your comment. It's actually perfect giving my article rewrite thoughts. Again, I find SCP-847 really damn sexy. Tell me if this is normal or not. This might be documentation of them actually admitting this was like a weird fetish thing.
Not only a weird fetish thing of like brigading, like downvoting to like brigade it, to like change it.
Yeah.
It also doesn't help that like what we read in the article with the whimpering and everything, they turned a pretty normal like horror story into like a genuinely misogynistic fetish piece.
Xenomorph and I are working on rewrites. Why are you working on a rewrite with the guy that said this was super sexy?
Like, granted, I think earlier, was it the same person that said that they noticed the panty shot that nobody else noticed?
I don't think they are. I think Xenomorph came in late.
Okay.
Xenomorph says, let us know what you think should change to be fixed. Somebody replies, why is it only vulnerable to electricity? How is this weakness discovered? Can it do something more interesting than just being another SCP that kills things? It doesn't have to be.
But it kills things. Most SCPs kill things. It's the whole point of a horror story.
Fucking Wrong John Silver replies to the can it be more interesting, says absolutely, but be careful what you wish for, smirk.
I don't like that.
So somebody replies, how did this get downvoted into a rewrite? I liked it. Xenomorph says, you liked SCP-847, but unfortunately, compared to the Foundation's SCP standard, it needs some improvements. It's an interesting SCP in my opinion, but there's still some flaws in there that'll need to be fixed. After we finish rewriting, it will be better than ever. You'll love it. And Mr. Wrong, who might be another account of Wrong John Silver, I don't know. It tends to happen with articles. At least it got a rewrite, which is better than the alternative, or staff voting to have it deleted due to rules when it eventually hits -10.
But it's literally they literally admitted to brigading it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This is what happened to all your favorite old SCPs, by the way, chat.
So again, it went from a cool just spooky story to a literal fetish piece.
Yep. It's hard to deny that it's a literal fetish piece now. Does it actually have what's his name in here? It's all Wrong John Silver, but does it have Xenomorph mixed in here?
I haven't like been this uncomfortable with the story since when I picked up The Hero That Saves the World with Darkness. and I got used to that one because I come for how terrible it is, and I'm now genuinely invested in the backstory of one character. This
Retards running the site deciding to say what should be cool for your SCP. Yeah, pretty much. So they changed the original ones just because they like them better in their way. All this to point out that this is also tied into another story where they have some D-class assault the fucking mannequin for some reason.
Yeah. And then not only again, so let's bullet point this. So we have a mannequin that number one, self-mutilates, that nobody knows why. It just does that sometimes. It attacks women on sight. Fine. It's fine.
Has to look woman enough.
Do not put any of the following trans men, trans women, or lesbian, or any of those people near them. It'll only respond positively around men and men who are gay. If it is around a straight man, it will basically turn into a deviant fetish, and it absolutely enjoys it. I'm like, I haven't been this disturbed by a story in a long time. And I get jump scared by like slight pop-ups. This is gross. This is genuinely gross, bro.
I'm happy to have ruined Kendra's night.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, the part where they specifically mention the D-class they put them with is a repeat sexual assaulter. Test was authorized with D7294, chosen because he had been convicted of multiple murders of a not sexual assault, it says multiple murders of a sexual nature.
So what we're hearing is that he's a literal necrophile.
I guess. I didn't realize that it didn't say sexual assault. It says murders of a sexual nature. I think that means different.
Oh my gosh, this article's actually... You know what? I think we found something worse than the supercomputer that makes memes to turn you right-wing so you can end yourself. Oh my gosh. I didn't think we could get worse than that.
Yeah. I just... Wait, what is it? So... Description of event, SCP-847 tears out all head hair and extracts a liver after experiment 847J with another D-class. The doctor says, did you make any comment about SCP's hair? The D-class says, I know, right? The 80s are over. Heck, that was almost the 70s. The doctor says, please answer the question. The D-class says, you got it all on film. Nah, I didn't say much of anything. I was just hella impressed with an actual living doll. A real fine piece of ass, too. I suppose I can't take her drinking, though, being plastic and all, and me still locked up, of course. Doctor says, thank you, D-class, we're done here. D-class says, you're welcome. You think we can run this experiment again sometime? You guys really did make it into a fetish. War of the Worlds. Even.
I'm like, I thought I was gonna like eat. I thought I was gonna like eat after this, but then like earlier before streaming, I was like, nah, I'm gonna eat, and I'm kind of glad I did. Yeah.
And then this one's just randomly in the middle, tears out all the pubic hair. Why did you write that?
Wait, okay. So it tears out its pubic hair during a period of Z pattern behavior. So when it is in its dormant state, it just starts tearing out its pubic hair.
I guess.
So it's... Huh?
SCP is not attempted replacement. Because you see up here for this one, the hair was replaced and the liver was replaced. In this one, they ripped out their pubic hair and is not attempted to put it back. A log of all the messages written by the SCP while in Foundation custody. Attempts to communicate have been met with failure. SCP-847 does not use words when vocalizing and does not respond to questions as by personnel, whether spoken or written. So vocalizations have been come back. I can do better. Where are you? Where's my prince? I can change. You can own me. You're my master. Don't leave me. Whatever you want. 1979 to 2009. Too old. I can be young for you.
1979 and 2009.
Probably an age. No, that doesn't make any sense. I guess 2009 because it says this was set in 2009. So maybe it is like the actual age.
I'm getting Michael Jackson.
I'm sorry I'm worthless. Daddy, I'll be good.
The deluxe size dollar set? What? I'm getting Michael Jackson, the deluxe size dollar set, and the introduction to Afghanistan.
Are you reading somebody in your chat?
No, I'm like pulling up the articles in front of me. Like,
I think you're reading too deep into that.
I mean, these people went too deep into it. Why can't I? I'm assuming it's probably connected to the well, I don't think it's connected to the Afghanistan one, but I think Michael Jackson or something? I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure it's just the doll's age intro.
You know what? This article's giving me brain damage. Oh my gosh.
It is a wild one. Sorry, I was trying to look for my eye drops.
You're fine. So you. Oh my gosh.
How did I miss my eye? I somehow missed my fucking eye.
You know what? We're gonna let the chat put it up to a vote. The dollar coin, Michael Jackson, the introduction to Afghanistan. Vote now.
It did go to unwelcome school. I probably should.
Oh.
Clown music. Let's.
Oh my gosh.
But that was a tangent I didn't expect to get on.
Yeah, it was the story of all time.
I drop just like anime. I've had a problem with my right eye for a while now, where it just like starts burning. So I very recently got eye drops to see if that would help.
Was as someone who's are you blinking? Okay, number one, are you blinking? And number two, how long are you in front of your PC? Because I've experienced that too. And that only happens when you're like at your PC for a long, long time without blinking.
Oh, I'm at my PC all day.
Oh, then that's 100% the problem.
Well, I thought maybe some eye drops would help a little bit.
It will help with like moistening the eyes, but yeah, you just also gotta rest your eyes. You gotta get more vitamin D.
I don't believe in vitamin D. I'm not gay.
I should have known. That's a lie.
No, I got these because my right eye specifically, like I woke up the other day and it felt like I just wanted to like yank it out. It hurt so bad. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I've never had like eye problems before.
It's one of those, it's just one of those measures. It's like, hey, you might want to rest your eye a little bit. It usually helps just covering the eye or just staying away from the PC long enough. That's how I do it.
I don't believe in that. I'll tough through it.
Ugh, that's what they all say. Was it back to the D class?
Oh, that feels a lot better.
Woo.
You have a boyfriend? Yeah, but he's basically a woman, so.
I can confirm for that.
SCP is full of teenagers at this point. You would hope so.
I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. That didn't sound like any teenager I've ever heard, met, or even experienced next to in my life. I still remember my teenage years clearly. I wouldn't even be able to come up with something like that.
It's unironically filled with 40-year-olds that still act like teenagers.
Exactly. That and the way they got really way too descriptive with the fetish stuff. And I don't know about you, but no teenager knows what 1979 through 2009 is. I don't even know what that is. That's why I'm memeing about it right now.
Let me see. How long is this section? Here, I'll finish to the end of this section, and then maybe we'll stop there. Possibly, because this is a long article. And me and Kendra got off on a longer tangent than we thought we would, probably.
I'm gonna be real, Chief. After this section, I don't think we need to return to this article forever.
Yeah. So this was our Veronica lady is in the cell with the guy that fucked the mannequin. 7294 almost felt something. A vestige from a dozen lifetimes past. Perhaps the memory drugs rarely erase the imprint memories left. What a dumb animal. What's that even linked to? Wriggle like a fucking eel. That may be something for later. Let me ruin the surprise then. You don't get out. The girl barely stirred at that. She probably already knew that tidbit. Nothing here just kills you. And if it does, you'll go to hell like everyone else. Somewhere in the diary he kept, 7294 assured himself that hell was an eternity in one's corpse. He still can't remember why. So this is actually a reference to another SCP. There was an SCP that said that there's an alternative form of death where when you die, your body sort of becomes one with the entire world, but all you feel is like everything rotting and dying all at the exact same time while still being trapped inside your corpse.
Mm-hmm.
And it only affects you if you know about it. And if you know about it, you are guaranteed that that is your afterlife.
Okay.
And it sends people into an absolute frenzied panic. What is considered new SCP? Any of the rewrites. Anything that came after the rewrites and any of the rewrites. Another ugly chuckle. She could certainly stand to be broken. What the fuck? Yeah, maybe, but let a woman dream, alright? 7294 was surprised. The most put-together thing about the girl was her uniform. She may have been a head taller, sure, but the Foundation had made her small. Still, such was the price of climbing a mountain of sandpaper. Dreams are for children. The Foundation breaks both. In time, so I suggest making them like you, before they start placing you with the more interesting experiments. But a moot point, I believe your next experiment will be the one that brings you down. When the girl finally looked back up, D7294 swore he could finally see something approaching humanity in her face. You think? Well, little lady, this time the girl sneered. Some people you think can just tell, all in context clues, of course. At one point, the girl might have left half of her head shaved, even with the hair growing back in the bruising was readily apparent. How she avoided a concussion was anyone's guess. Since you don't appear to be new, that means you've gone through quite a bit of tests. Tell me, what's your name? By the way, whoever wrote this is a really shit writer, because I barely know who is speaking at any given time. Like, there's a reason in novels, people, like, even if it's one-word replies, they'll say something like, okay, the girl replied. That's not just, like, useless filler text to keep the book, to add, like, extra pages to the book. That's to make sure people know who is replying. Like, you've got to give people, like, pronouns and shit, so we know who's speaking.
Oh, is it Veronica?
Yeah, because I meant your real name. Veronica.
Veronica, oh, sorry.
If you're going to be like this, we're not going to wait for good romance. D7294 sighed, mostly to keep an appearance. The girl's response wasn't all that unexpected. Okay then, my name is D7294. Your name used to be Veronica. What is it now? Says, okay, we're going with the prison level metaphors here. Well, my number is 952. My name remains Veronica. Okay, it's a nice name. Picked it out myself. So, I don't understand, because he acknowledges that she's a woman, right? Even though we know that she's like male to female trans. And he only refers to her as a woman. But then when she says Veronica, he says, I mean your real name. It's like, why wouldn't you assume that's her real name? Like, I don't understand.
I'm assuming he acknowledges that she's trans, but also wants to poke at her.
Yeah.
And then there's also the fact of I don't know why we're trying to humanize the necrophile, but you know.
Yeah. And this, the flourish was instinctual, symphonic habits die hard. This is why I know they don't like you. Whoever you used to be it some vegan mustard peddler or B-movie stunt double that ended the moment you were handed a life sentence, here you're D952. You're a lab rat, and refusing to walk the maze means they'll dissect you instead. D952 barely reacted as 7294 ambled over to her slumped form. They've already put you through the tough ones, haven't they? She sneered as he loomed over her. Of course, he couldn't say he liked her stubbornness, but she'd break eventually. The girl didn't look the type to bend. Well, now they've roomed you a serial femicide. Barely winced at that. Probably glad she was getting attention in the first place. Next is something a little deadlier than me and a little less pleasant. You put yourself in a corner. Fighting will make the corner smaller. D7294 recognized the stare 952 was giving to him. A recalcitrant glare that sought to replace both action and rhetoric in a situation where the girl had neither. These days, 7294 was rarely in the position to receive one of these. Veronica is dead, and none of her friends are here to care for D952. And with that, D952 finally began to cry. This is definitely a rape fic. Am I picking up the wrong thing from that?
No, I was gonna be like, I wouldn't say that, but like, yeah, I think they're trying. It's like, I'm not shipping them with the necrophile, but he's staring at her like that, and I'm just like, I don't like the, like, I don't like it.
It reads like a rape.
You know what, Cher? I think we're done for tonight.
Yeah.
I think we're done for the night. You know, I was gonna do an art stream instead. Which is some of you saw the original schedule. I was gonna do an art stream. I think I actually would have preferred that than this. Oh my gosh.
You're welcome, Kendra.
I think I would have rather browsed Fur Affinity.
We could do that one day.
No. No.
Hey, you said you'd rather do that. I don't see why not.
At least we could filter out the tags with Fur Affinity.
Whoever wrote this needs to be put under the prison.
I think whoever, it's just weird. This is something we like slandered Yandere dev for, and here the SCP devs are like, it's not that bad, guys. It's not that bad. People are defending stuff like I'm not someone who's like, I understand the story is out there. Again, I read revenge stories. If you want to know a writer where it's like, what's wrong with you? Do you need to go to therapy? Read a really bad revenge story.
Yeah.
Read Redo of Healer. This is just deeply uncomfortable.
Oh, it
at least
is.
with Redo of Healer, it's just stupid. This is just genuinely uncomfortable.
I've seen a couple people in chat say they think the author has to be a sex offender or something.
Yeah.
He does come off a bit creep.
Weird. It's just weird. Like there's bad stories. This is just weird.
So does it tell me who wrote it if I go to the bottom?
Mm.
Should be under history, right?
Probably.
This Uranium Empire person, likely. I'll never go again to North Ontario. Gone, I won't tolerate having my trauma thrown in my face. That's in their about section.
Uh-huh.
Real name, Gregor. Gender, female. Thanks to Wrong John Silver for letting me use D7294. Find his take on Veronica placeholder. You didn't even link to the Veronica article. Or maybe it's not been made yet. Well, I hope you enjoyed, chat. I'm gonna send you off to somebody playing Fire Emblem because I love Fire Emblem.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Let me go back. I don't even know what do we even say to that?
I don't think you can say anything, honestly.
Oh my gosh.
Which Fire Emblem? It looks like she is playing Radiant Dawn. Or let me double check. It's hard to see. It might be Path of Radiance.
Let's see who's
Bye,
live
chat.
right now.
Love you guys.
Sawa. I'm gonna radio out to Zuzu Mizuchi or Roscoe's doing. Nah, they're playing. Oh, I guess this Fire Emblem as well.
Yeah, that's the person I'm raiding out to. If you want to double raid.
Yeah. All right, I'll double raid them. And as for those on Twitch, I shall be sending y'all to Little Spade for a art stream of cleansing because, jeez, we need one.
Also, yes, chat, Lautism tomorrow.
Yes. All right. I shall see you all later. I'll see you later, and please go to writing school and never do what these people do.
Bye,
oh my
chat.
gosh. Bye-bye.